Okay, so this is gonna be my movie review of Vampires vs. the Bronx, a new Netflix movie. So right off the top, I have to say subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. I do trailer reactions, I do movie reviews, I do TV show spoiler chats, just talking about all the things that we're interested in TV shows and movies. If you're watching on Facebook, please follow the page and leave a like and share it. So I would have to give this movie like a strong 7 out of 10. This is probably the first movie review I've done in a long time because there's not many movies coming out. But this one is available on Netflix. It was promoted. I saw it, the promotion, and I was kind of into it just because it had a real nice vibe to it from the trailers. Now when I talk about the vibe, it was in the trailer, but it was also present in the movie. This thing to me had very strong Stranger Things vibes because it's a movie that follows a group of kids for the most part, but it does so without trying to recreate the 80s nostalgia of any sort. Like there's no nostalgia present in this, but it still to me gives off that vibe. But the thing that distinguishes it from Stranger Things to me is that there's a level of campiness in this one that is not existed in Stranger Things as a TV show. There's a level of camp here that's is real strong throughout, and it gets real strong at the end. Let's talk about the positives though, things that I like a lot about this movie. First would have to be the cast. I enjoyed every person in the role that they were in. I have to say, Merrill, the kid Merrill from Desus and Merrill, if you follow the show, that guy wowed me. And I know I'm a novice critic. I don't do many reviews. I haven't been doing this a long time, but I expected trash from Merrill. Like I thought he would be in there playing a caricature of himself, but he actually played like a father figure role, and he did a great job in it. And I just enjoyed his presence every time that he was on screen. He was very believable, very convincing. Great job by the kid Merrill. I enjoyed all the child actors. They did a real good job. Very convincing jobs. The mothers of those child actors did very good jobs. Again, Method Man as a priest, I was like, wow, that's a different choice, but I'm with it. I like it. Another positive, I think this movie was very appropriately paced and lengthened. Like it wasn't too long, it wasn't too short. It wasn't any moment throughout the film that kind of dropped off in speed or in pace. It's like every few minutes something happened that kind of kept the story moving along, which was a great thing as far as like a Netflix movie that you're watching at home and it's easy to lose interest. This one will probably keep your interest most of the time. As far as storytelling goes, I like that the story is real tight. They don't try to plan a bunch of different threads and like drag things out. They get right to it and it moves along briskly. I like that they don't try to give you too many side stories and backstories on like ancillary characters. They just give you the movie and say, here, enjoy. And I dug it. As to the negatives, one is a nitpick that only the real strong movie people or like gun people will notice. The few times that you see guns in this movie, they look and sound like cap guns. Like, what are y'all doing? That sounded real bad. That looked real bad each time I saw the guns in action in this movie. And it's not a lot. It's not a lot of guns and stuff in the movie, so you're good on that front. The other negative is more like a thematic thing, like something that they chose, a plot device they chose to use to kind of like give exposition and like show where people are and kind of like carry on the story and stuff. I didn't like that device. I don't want to talk specifically about what it was. If you watch the movie, you'll see a reoccurring element, and it even came back at the end, and I was like, we doing this again? Didn't want to see this again, but it happened kind of throughout the film, and I was not a fan of it. Not a fan of it at all. And the only last negative would be that it got pretty cheesy at the end. Like pretty cheesy at the end, like thick layers of the cheese. Now understand, there was campiness throughout the film. Like portions of it seemed very campy, like tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, look what we're doing here with the little hands, or look what we're doing here with the screams or the teeth, or this shot is shot in a way to make it look like old 80s 90s horror or old vampire flicks type cheese. I get that, I feel that. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean like the last few moments of the film just seemed real cheesy. It didn't ruin it. I think, still strong 7 out of 10, but that cheese at the end, man, I didn't care for it all the way. Again, on the Christian side of things, yes, it's vampires, but like it's not gruesome, it's not bloody, it's no nudity. It's very, very, very light cursing. Like, it's fine. I enjoyed it. I think it's pretty decent fun to have for middle school kids and up. You should be fine. Check that movie out on Netflix. If you have the Netflix service, please go ahead and watch it. If you're watching any of the other shows that I reviewed, like The Boys, like Lovecraft Country, if you're going to be watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, like, come back to the channel. I'll be talking about those as soon as they drop each week. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. Enjoy yourself. Guard your heart. Come back and see me on another video.